Could the New York Giants be looking to pull off a trade that would bring them a quarterback that was once pretty good in this league and even finished top 5 in the MVP voting at one point? We're going to break that down on today's show as you're watching Giants Now by Chat Sports, and I am your host, Marshall Green. Jordan Renan, longtime beat reporter for Big Blue, works for ESPN, said the trade avenue at quarterback could also be an option. Nothing should be ruled out. And when Renan says that, I think we should all listen, because do we remember what John Mara said following Week 18 on Black Monday? Finding a quarterback is the number one issue for this team heading into the offseason. Then Joe Schoen said this: we've done a lot of work on the college guys. John Mara mentioned earlier that we'll look at free agency. We can also look through the draft, potential trade opportunities. We'll look at any avenue we can to upgrade the position. The full quote that Jordan Renan said, I wanted to tease it for you guys a little bit to make sure you're watching the video. The trade avenue could also be an option. The future of Derek Carr in New Orleans is one that could come into question. Nothing should be ruled out. I think it's pretty interesting that Renan ended up mentioning Derek Carr by name. So on today's show, I'm going to go bit by bit and brick by brick to try to decide if the New York Giants should trade for the 33-year-old quarterback out of Fresno State that currently plays for the New Orleans Saints. Last year, 67.7% completion percentage, 2,100 yards, 15 touchdowns, just 5 interceptions. He was solid and really good at the start of the year. Remember, they looked like the fastest show on turf at the beginning of the year when they dominated the Dallas Cowboys and they started the season 2-0. Then things kind of stalled out, and he ended up getting hurt against the Giants because he tried to Superman dive for a first down. So I'm just 50,000 feet out evaluations I have of Derek Carr. Some pros. He's got prototypical size. He's got good arm talent. He's got really nice touch on the ball. He's really good at throwing over the middle, and he's a good mental processor as well. Some cons. I think his pocket presence is bad. I think his playmaking outside of structure isn't all that good, and his mobility is not what it once was coming out of Fresno when he was a guy that could buy time with his legs to make plays downfield. My take overall, a good starting quarterback. Not an elite starting quarterback, not a great starting quarterback, not a bad starting quarterback, but a solid, good starting quarterback. Maybe like top 20 or so in the National Football League. You look at what he's done over the last couple of years in the league, playing just 10 games this year, 214 yards per game, 15 touchdowns in 10 games, just 5 interceptions, 8 interceptions last year in 17 games, with 25 touchdowns. If you're telling me the Giants could add a quarterback that's going to complete 68% of his passes, throw for 230 a game and 25 touchdowns and 8 picks, I'd be cool for that, for my little bridge quarterback. Some advanced stats. His EPA per play, 7th best in the National Football League. Estimated points added per play, top 7 in the NFL. Adjusted completion percentage, top 6 in the NFL. Average depth of target. How far do you push the ball down the field? 13th. Yards per attempt, 10th. So he pushes the ball down the field. His big-time throw percentage, top 8 in the league. Turnover-worthy play percentage, 14th best. Average time to throw, middle of the pack. And pressure-to-sack percentage is 8.5, second best in the NFL. He got the ball out quick, and he didn't take many sacks last year for New Orleans. When you talk about more EPA stuff, boom, a play of that is estimated points added greater than 1.0. 7th best in the NFL. His bust, an EPA play of negative 1.0 or greater. 10th best in the NFL. And the differential between these two, number 6th in the NFL. The advanced analytics say that Derek Carr was actually pretty damn good when he ended up playing for New Orleans last year. Some more stuff. He's got 35 game-winning drives in his NFL career. 13th all-time. Downfield EPA per attempt. How many points are you adding per downfield attempt? 5th best in the NFL. This is someone that I think is a little bit underrated in the National Football League. And I thought, you know what, let's compare him to a guy that a lot of people want in free agency, Justin Fields. It's not even close who had the better season in 2024, and it's not even close who has been a better quarterback in the NFL. 7th in EPA per play for Carr, 25th for Fields. 10th in yards per attempt compared to 23rd. 8th in big-time throws compared to 29th middle of the pack in turnover-worthy play percentage, whereas Justin Fields was at 22, and the average time to throw, Justin Fields had the most time to throw in the NFL, and Derek Carr was about midway. And that's where I look at Derek Carr. Carr is a top 20, top 16, top 17-ish quarterback in the NFL when healthy. He can be the point guard in a passing attack. He is someone that can really, I feel like, make plays down the field with his arm. I think he's got good touch. We saw Rashid Shaheed come out of nowhere, and he was awesome with him. We've seen him work out with other good wide receivers in this league. I think he's a solid quarterback. I think he's someone that's top 20 in this league. Question is, should the Giants trade for him? Like Jordan Renan kind of hinted at. I don't think it would take a lot to trade for him. And I'll explain why I believe it wouldn't take all that much to trade for him. Before we do, I just want to hear from you. Would you make this trade, giving up a 2025 fifth-round pick to the New Orleans Saints for Derek Carr? Would you go out and make this trade? Type A for accept, type D for decline. I want to hear from all of you down in the comment section right now. Coming up next, should they make the trade? And I'm going to tell you this. Before I tell you why it makes absolutely no sense to make the trade, yeah, I would trade a fifth-round pick for Derek Carr because you're getting a top half of the league starting quarterback. But the Giants aren't going to have to trade for him. I'll tell you why. Coming up next, though, or coming up right now, I got to tell you about our proud sponsor, Game Time. The conference championship games are here for the NFL. It's coming down to a close, and if you want to go catch one of the final 3 NFL games this year, you got to get hooked up with our proud sponsor and the best ticketing app in the game. It's called Game Time. Download the app, create an account, use that promo code ChatSports, and you'll get $20 off your first purchase where terms do apply. You get to see your seat view in the app, so it's really easy to decide which ticket you want. Prices go down as the events get closer. The app will alert you via a push notification when flash deals are going on, and lowest price guaranteed. When you use that all-in pricing feature, the price you see is the price you pay. And when you see that Game Time Picks feature, it makes it that much more easy to go see your favorite team perform. So what are you waiting for? Download the app, create an account, use the promo code ChatSports. That's ChatSports, and get $20 off your first purchase where terms do apply. All of that information will be clickable down in the comments and description of today's show. What time is it? It's game time. Support the show. Support the sponsor. All righty. Being able to trade a fifth-round pick for Derek Carr is a no-brainer for the New York Football Giants, strictly from compensation-wise. Derek Carr is much more valuable than a fifth-round pick at this current moment. But trading for Carr doesn't make sense money-wise. And I'm a little curious, confused, puzzled why even Jordan Renan mentioned this. Because all it took was to read a couple articles, talk to a couple people, and take a look at the contract. Alrighty. When you trade for a player, you take on their base salary and their roster bonus. So if the New York Giants were to trade for Derek Carr, they would owe him a $30 million base salary this year and a $10 million roster bonus. He'd have a $30 million cap hit, but overall he'd be paying him $40 million. It's a lot for him, but that's not where I'm getting. Derek Carr has $30 million guaranteed on his contract when you get to the third day of the new league year. What does that mean? The Saints are not keeping Derek Carr on their roster past the third day of the league year, which means the Saints are more likely to cut Derek Carr. Trading Carr doesn't give New Orleans the salary cap relief that it does if you were to just cut him and schedule him as a post-June 1 cut. New rule in the NFL. You can schedule 2 people as a post-June 1 cut, and they enter the free agency pool immediately. Reminder, the cap saving you get from a post-June 1 cut, you cannot use until post-June 1. This is what they are going to do, in my opinion. They are going to declare him as a post-June 1 cut and save $30 million on the cap and take on a $21.4 million cap hit. The reason I say it makes no sense for them to trade him is because you only save $11.3 million and you have a dead cap hit. of $40 million. So it doesn't make sense for the Giants to trade for him, money-wise, because you would owe him $30 million on a cap hit. And it doesn't make sense for the Saints to trade him because you're only saving $11.3 million and you're going to get marginal trade value back because other teams know you're going to have to overpay him. What does that mean? They are going to cut him. And he's going to be a free agent. And if the Giants want Derek Carr, they can go get him. They can go out and sign him. I would love to be able to just get the football player Derek Carr for a 5th-round pick. That's a home run move. But not at $40 million. So they're going to cut him. And he's going to be a free agent. And the Saints already are paying Derek Carr, and we'll talk about that more, a large chunk of guaranteed money for 2025, which means he could be in a similar situation as Russell Wilson was last year, where he signs a cheap contract, and like Kirk Cousins is going to be once the Atlanta Falcons cut him if they do. CBS projects that Derek Carr is going to sign, I don't really care about the team, the Indianapolis Colts, but a 1-year deal for $15 million. Carr on a 1-year, $15 million deal is a great move. It is a home run move. That might be the best quarterback contract in the National Football League. $15 million for 1 year, Derek Carr? Yeah, sign me up. Why would he do that? Because the New Orleans Saints owe him $21 million in 2025, no matter what. If they cut him, they owe him $21 million. If they keep him, they owe him a lot more money. So no, they're not going to trade him. Doesn't make sense for the Giants to trade him. They're going to cut him because it benefits them. And if he is a free agent, he is on my list of who I want the Giants to go out and sign as their bridge quarterback. My question to you is this. Would you sign Carr for a 1-year, $15 million contract? Type S for sign, type P for pass. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. And make sure you are following me on social media. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram at @MarshallGreen_. And that's why you subscribe to the channel, because we give you the actual reasons as to why things would happen instead of just throwing things at the wall and hoping that they stick. Appreciate you guys. If you haven't yet, please hit that thumbs up icon.